Where's the beef? Gamer Podcast.
Alright, so welcome to episode number 2 of Where's the Beef Gamer Podcast with myself and Chris. How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
What you doing? What's been happening?
The corona has been happening.
So tell me about what you've been experiencing, and obviously, you're in lockdown. You're at home, right?
Yes, lockdown. Cannot go outside.
I know, but have you seen how crazy it is in Lebanon, though? I mean, with helicopters and stuff, and it's like literally like a zombie movie.
Because Lebanon doesn't have enough resources. Because a lot of people get sick. We don't have enough beds. We don't have enough resources. So, we're trying to avoid that as much as we can. But people don't take responsibility for themselves. A lot of people, we cannot trust people. So that's why we need soldiers to go down on the street and enforce it. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, mind you, I was watching this new case study about this malaria drug or something that everyone seems to be talking about, which the FDA is trying to approve now, which is saying is helping combat it. So fingers crossed that comes through. That looks pretty promising. You all right?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, someone is calling me.
Typical. You see, I always put my phone on silence.
It's not like that. It's like nobody has been calling me for days. And every time I want to do something, I've been in quarantine for like 10 days. I'm going crazy. No one literally was asking about me. Now suddenly I get phone calls when I start to record.
Yeah, typical. It's always like that. Yeah, I've been in quarantine for like maybe 7-8 days now. And no one bothered calling me, nothing. The second I was doing something today, boom, the phone started. I was like, really, seriously? Now it starts ringing?
Oh, my God. So because of the coronavirus, a lot of things are getting cancelled.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of things. Let's talk about, let me see quickly. Let's talk about, a lot of the events first. Like E3, for example.
E3, yeah.
Wow, that's, for them to cancel that means, some serious shit going down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the E3 takes a lot of time to prepare, like months before the event. Yeah. And a lot of resources, They put a lot of money for preparation, and if it's not a sure thing, it's more logical to just cancel it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll tell you what, I think Sony, because obviously Sony, they announced that they weren't going to be part of E3 this year for another year. So obviously I think it's safe to say that they've really held on to their budgets for now, because obviously they're putting their eggs in the PS5, so... Yeah, that's it's a shame though. What's happening with all these events being shut down, and especially things like E3, because you get to see what games are coming out and what developers are doing. So I think everything's all like indoors now, isn't it? In the house, like everyone's on YouTube and Instagram and I don't know what, and yeah, everything's all based sort of like in the house now.
Yeah, I see that, but. The thing is, they can do like the big event thing from streaming, right? They can do that, but E3 isn't about like they can announce games wherever on the internet whenever they want, but the events are more made for independent companies, which they are trying to put their foothold in, like trying to look for publishers. I have this great game, if you want to publish it. Maybe Ubisoft sees something like that. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe let me talk to my higher ups and show you the game for you. It hurts a lot of independent companies, not the big companies like E3 and whatever.
Yeah. No, it's understandable. I think obviously the whole entertainment industry in a whole, not just necessarily gaming, is just really being affected by what's happening in the world right now.
Yeah. So a lot of games like Pokemon Go, they like Pokemon Go obviously requires you to go outside and walk around, which is a no right now. So what they are doing is they updated the game, so a lot more Pokemon shows up close to your area, like without walking, and
Yeah.
more Poke Centers close to your house. So which is good,
Well,
I guess.
I saw my sister has that, and she's like constantly on it. Like, you know, in the UK when I was there like a few weeks back, she was like opening up her phone, going, "Hang on, there's a Pokemon in the area." I was like, "What?" You know what I mean? I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And she'd like run off, go grab it, and then come back. So yeah, I mean. It might be an even better idea for them to, like, you know, let the Pokemon just be in your house, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking things now.
Yeah, there's a lot of they're canceling movies.
Yep.
They're delaying some.
Delaying,
Not canceling.
yeah.
Sorry, delaying, not canceling. The movie's already done. Like delaying. A Quiet Place 2 was delayed. Fast and Furious was delayed till next year.
Yeah.
Some movies they are gonna release it straight digitally because not. I don't think the big budget ones, but the ones that would not make big box office. What do you say? Income.
Like megabucks, yeah.
Megabucks,
I think it
yeah.
depends, yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of movies that have already been pushed back. I think it's a lot of the movies that have already been released, like Bloodshot, for example, because obviously no one's going to go to the cinema now to go watch that. So, you know, that's why I think that's coming out next week or something like that. I mean, like, I think Harley Quinn's just been released, or it's about to get released any day now. What else is good? I was checking the list actually. Yeah, Bad Boys for Life, because it's been in the cinemas for like 2 months. They're releasing it next week as well. So there's a lot of all the big movies that have been out, especially during this whole period, and the future ones over the next month or two. Definitely, they're going to get digital releases very quickly.
Yeah. Early digital releases, not the Blu-ray ones, the digital ones, obviously. Yeah, they release. I think Sonic. They're gonna release Sonic very soon.
Yeah.
What's out already new? Like the movie Onward, like with Chris Pratt and what's the
What's his
Spider-Man?
name? Tom Holland. I almost forgot what his name was for a second. Tom Holland.
Yeah. I think that's already out, or it's very soon coming out.
They put that
yeah.
on Disney Plus, didn't they? I think, or they just dropped that on Disney Plus.
I think so, but the point is, a lot of movies are gonna go out yearly. So,
From what I'm reading as well, there's a lot of like the physical copies of video games are also being pushed back. Like from what I was reading, Final Fantasy VII Remake, they're not gonna push back the release date. They're gonna let it go out digitally, but they're gonna limit on the hard copies of it, from what I've been told. So that's something interesting. I think that's gonna be for a lot of video games. The ones that are coming out over the period of the next few months. You're definitely going to see a lot of digital downloads on PlayStation Store, Xbox Live, you know, Nintendo, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, actually going out to get a physical copy might be a bit harder. Not because you can't go outside, but because it just might not be there.
exactly, like which is fine, I guess, because digital is even more easy to already acquire.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I don't know. A lot of people like the physical aspects, so which would be they would be annoyed by it. But and you know, we are in a crisis. We are in a pandemic, so everybody has to make some sort of sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Not getting your game physical. It's fine. You can get it in digital. A lot of people have more. Worrisome problems of getting sick because they have elderly people and they're living in their house, or sick people are living in their house, which they have a very low chance to survive. So let's not go on Reddit and start ranting. Oh no, I want my games physical or whatever.
Yeah. Well, mind you, I mean, this day and age, I mean, I very rarely get physical games. I think the last physical game I bought was Ori, because I wanted it because I'm such a fan of the last one. And even before then, I think the last game I bought was maybe 6 months ago. I think maybe even more than that. You know, I mean, most of the time it's always digital or a review code, or, you know, you just buy it on the online store and that's it. I think That's pretty much how I'm handling it these days, and for a long time.
Yeah. Me too. I haven't been. I think the last game I bought physical was Red Dead Redemption 2.
I think that might be the last one for me. No, actually, no. I bought Call of Duty just because I didn't feel like downloading 100 gigs of the actual game, and then
Which
the
you
updates,
eventually did.
which eventually I ended up doing anyway. So it really screwed me. But yeah, I think even Red Dead Redemption was the last one because that was like over 100 gigs just to play. So I think that was one of the reasons why I bought with the actual physical disc.
Yeah, same here. Like a lot of people say, well, if you get the physical, like you don't have to download anything, you can play straight away. Really?
Rubbish.
Really? Like what's extra 20 gigs to download? Like whatever. Digital seems like the same thing as a disc because they're like the PS4 is not reading off data from the disc, they're all reading off from the hard disk. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Well, mind you, this is what I quite like about when you're doing digital these days, especially with like PlayStation, is that you can download like 10 gigs and you can start playing while the rest of the game is downloading, which is pretty cool.
Yes. Which is all, but most of those like you can start right now. Some of them really piss me off. I don't remember which game did it, but it's like, oh, start application. Oh, great, I can play a level or two. They just let me go into the menu and like, please wait for the whole game to be downloaded. Like, what's the point letting me go inside the menu?
You can see how the menu looks. Pretty.
Which game was it? I don't remember. Like, it really pissed me off.
There's a few games that have done that, but I can't remember their names. I remember I just opened it and I was like, right, let's get playing. And then it's like, yeah, you have to wait for the whole game to be downloaded. I was like, great. What can I do now? So you end up playing something else.
So I'm gonna say it officially. This is our beef of today.
Definitely, that's our beef. Downloading games, especially when you got crappy internet, especially here. It's so slow sometimes. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god. So I was gonna say, oh yeah. So I want to also say something else. For NBA 2K20 was, I don't know, it's still crashing, but it started to crash when the NBA, the actual sport NBA, was canceled. Canceled. Because NBA 2K20 has a mode that calls daily matches. It's called daily matches or daily something, where you can play the games that were was played a day ago or a couple hours ago. Like if you have the LA Lakers versus the Miami Heat, like you can replay that game. Because there was no more NBA, so they cannot take their data from the NBA. So every time you go into that mode, it would crash because there's no data. Yeah,
Wow.
It's weird. What else was cancelled? A lot of things got cancelled.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, don't forget. I mean, not only am I a gamer, but I'm also a DJ. All my DJ events, all the big festivals got cancelled. Miami Winter Conference, Miami Music Week, everything got cancelled. Ultra got cancelled. It's crazy the amount of stuff that got cancelled.
Yeah. Disneyland was cancelled.
I was just about to mention that Disneyland. Yeah, wow. Even Mickey's not going out. That's
yeah. Disneyland got closed, but I like the word cancelled. Disneyland was cancelled.
Wow. That must be a shame telling that to your kids. Can we go to Disneyland? No, darling. Disneyland is cancelled. I'm sorry. What?
It's
Wow.
a big and I have a friend in America. It's a big thing. Disneyland. It's like when family makes a big trip and prepares a big trip to Disneyland, they take months for them to prepare because you have to wait for a long time for there's space or you can go to Disneyland because it's always crowded. So they plan it for months. And imagine telling your kids, we're gonna go to Disneyland next week. Hey, we've been waiting it for 3 years because it's so expensive. They tell me it's so expensive. It's super expensive.
I've never been. I was telling my girlfriend, I said this is something that I would like to see before I'm like too old to go. You know what I mean? Because I mean, they got like the whole Star Wars section there now, right? So it's like, you know what I mean? I'll just be hanging out there all day.
I've been to Disneyland Paris, which is great. I loved it, but Disneyland in California is different. Is it in California? I think so.
Yeah, it's
crazy. Different. So I would love to go there one day.
That's cool.
Mulan was also delayed. We can spend like the whole day saying
just like listing what's been delayed.
Yeah. There was a news that Nintendo of America, one of the employees were tested positive, which is like the thing, because the virus is so infectious, there's a big chance like a lot of other people got infected, which might affect the publishing or releasing games in America. So I think my advice is, if you're hoping something to happen tomorrow but it doesn't, just make sure like not everything is gonna go to plan, especially right now, because everything can change in a second.
Oh yeah. By the way, didn't Reggie move to GameStop, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, which is weird. Like, the company is already dying. Why would you go there?
Because he wants to, from what I was reading, he wants to do like a marketing plan to keep it alive, obviously. So,
yeah, or Reggie, I have a lot of free time right now. It's a challenge for me, like, fuck it, let's.
He's already a multi-millionaire, you know what I mean? It's like, why not? Yeah. It's GameStop,
I'm not gonna be affected by it if the company is gonna burn and crash. Who cares? Yeah.
Well, at least they're trying. At least they're trying to keep it alive. And like, as we were talking before about the whole digital versus physical, obviously these are the people that are getting affected by that completely.
So let's move on from the coronavirus, because I'm starting to get like really sick. Every day
as we're talking now, my throat is swelling up, man. I swear.
Yeah. it's not like I don't care. I care a lot. I care a lot about what to come, but sometimes you need a break. If you're reading about coronavirus 24/7, you're gonna like freak out all the time. Like, take breaks.
Oh yeah.
Don't look
that's
at
the thing.
the news every day. Yeah.
Yeah, because I suffer from things like anxiety and all kinds of stuff. So if I read something, I lie in bed, I start, I start having panic attacks. I'm breathing, thinking, I'm getting shortness of breath, and when I wake up, nothing. So man, it's I've just got to calm down a little bit. I think that's the main thing.
Exactly. Like, I'm not saying don't be oblivious what's happening. Like, read the news maybe once per day, like for 30 minutes, see what's going on. Then just move it aside, check it again tomorrow. And most probably, if it's something so devastating, you're probably going to get a message from one of your friends saying, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
My grandma's on fire or whatever.
My grandma's on fire. I hope my grandma's not on fire. Goodness.
Did you see Lego Mario?
Lego Mario, was that that toy where the kids were playing with it? It looked a bit weird.
Yeah.
It looked a bit strange.
Yeah. I have no idea what it is. Like, I watched it like 10 times. I'm like, what is this? Like, there's a Bluetooth button behind it. Is gonna be like an application? Like, would it know if you jump how many blocks? Or kids can cheat, right? They can just jump right to the pole, and would that make them win? Is there like sensors? Because this looks expensive. Because if Mario is gonna be like has a lot of sensors, so it would register his hops on each block. Let's say you missed the block, right? It says, oh no, you missed the block.
Yeah.
You have to go back or whatever. Like that's a lot of money, right? I don't know how much this is gonna cost. I don't know how they're gonna do this. I watched it.
To be honest, I'd rather play the damn video game. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there with Lego Mario, bouncy, bouncy. You know, you may as well just get the Switch out, or even hell, get the old Super Nintendo out and play. It'll be a hell of a lot cheaper.
So I'm going their official site, and I'm gonna read this out loud.
Oh, please do. I want to hear this.
Damn it! What is this? Why do I have to scour and like many pages so I can know what is going on?
Lego Mario. Let's have a look online as well.
If you can find before me.
Well, I've got a lot of YouTube videos. I've got the announcement thing, but yeah, Mario looks like a square SpongeBob, doesn't he?
And he has a like little LCD screen. Like this looks very expensive. This looks so expensive. I'm really curious to know how much it's gonna cost. Lego is already expensive. Like, do you know how much? What is it called? The Falcon. How much the Falcon costs? The Star Wars one. Do you know how much?
No,
it costs?
how much?
Maybe it costs as much as my house.
My goodness.
Sometimes it's like it's insane. Okay, we get this is for kids, but come on, you're gonna buy your kid a $1,000 toy?
Wow. Here we go. Collect coins, spinning through challenges, and completing levels. It's all part of the new Lego Super Mario. Play experience. Designers from Nintendo and the Lego Group have worked together to bring Lego Mario to life in a way that completely reimagines the world of physical Lego building. And as you said, I reckon that screen on Mario is going to cost a fortune. Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah.
You see, you read it. What does it mean? It doesn't tell me how you play the game, right? Like
exactly. Like what exactly is it?
Yeah, like I see pictures. Mario jump like there are Lego parts, right? They're like jumping, and don't forget there are also the monsters, the enemies. What is it called? The Kupo?
Yeah.
What's it called? The mushroom with the two legs, the short one. Oh my god, I don't know Mario.
What you mean, Toad?
No. The enemy.
Oh, the enemy. I don't know what the hell their names are. I just know Yoshi, Luigi, Princess, Koopa, whatever his name is.
Like
that's about it. Bowser.
Yeah, if you see the video, like Mario jumps on the Goomba and that registers it. Like, wow. Like there's even connectivity in that. Like, how is this gonna work?
I reckon that's going to connect with your Switch, I reckon, as well, surely, right? If it's got all this technology in it.
I think it's going to be a separate thing from the Switch. I think it's just a toy connected to your phone.
Maybe it'll be like one of those. I reckon you can use it as an amiibo as well. They just haven't announced it yet.
Maybe. Because here's the thing, right? If it's going to be on the Switch, do you know how much, like, you're blocked by a wall because if you want to play this game you need a Switch and you need this and you need that. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be related to the Switch. Maybe you can do something with the Switch as an extra, but it's not mandatory.
Well, that's what I think. I mean, I think it's its own thing, but I reckon if you have a Switch, I bet you can use it as an amiibo. What are they called? Emojis, Amobis.
Amiibos?
Amiibos, whatever the hell they're called, albinos.
Don't you have amiibos?
I don't have any, mate.
Oh my god, don't start with the collection.
Nah, I'm not, I do Funko Pop, that's it. That's as far as I go. If I get into that, I'll be broke.
Oh yeah. Because I started, it was really hard for me to stop. You know what? I started my initial, I'm just gonna get my favorite characters. And the thing is, my favorite characters has so many editions they're releasing. So Link has like 20 editions maybe. Like I bought all of them. I just have one missing, which is the pixel one.
I wouldn't. No, that's too much money, mate. I'd rather just spend the money on the games and actually play them.
Yeah, I know. So I stopped. I know that I have Cloud. So I have Cloud. And I have most of the links, so yeah.
Nice.
Something else. CD Projekt has said after Cyberpunk, 20s. Well, how
70s. Is it 2077 or whatever it's called? Or 2007?
2077 or 277?
It's one of them in it, yeah, whatever they call it.
2077. So they're saying after that they're gonna immediately start a new Witcher game, which
Oh, wow.
yeah, but Geralt's not gonna be like the main character.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be like an Easter egg or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, which is good.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry. So what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying because, I mean, Witcher died down for so long, and then obviously Henry Cavill sort of... Because he's a fan, isn't he? That's how Witcher came onto Netflix in the end, because he was such a fan of the books and the video games. So this is why it all sort of took off from there. And then all of a sudden, I was looking at like the European video game sales a few months back, and boom, Witcher 3 was in there, and Witcher 2 was in there. It's like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, these games have been disappeared for so long. All of a sudden, they were like in the top 10 of the best-selling games in Europe and the States. It was crazy.
Because media has a lot of effect on.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, why do you think there's anime? Like they don't make a lot of money from animes. Like animes is for people to drive to buy the manga.
Yeah.
Which I'm just gonna like slide this in. I know it's not an anime podcast or whatever, but I love anime and I love Bleach. And next year they're gonna start Bleach again. I've been waiting since 2012. It's been 8 years. One more year and I'm gonna get my new Bleach. They're gonna continue the story. Yay! The manga is over, but they're gonna continue the story and finish the whole thing.
Like a new spin-off or something?
No, not a spin-off. Like the anime released, right? But it
Yeah.
stopped at some point. But the manga continued. Now the manga is done. Like the whole story is done. But the anime stopped. But there's still a lot of story to tell. But they didn't with the anime, so they're gonna continue it.
Very nice.
not
That
a
sounds
spin-off,
good.
yes.
Thing is, I like the old animes because I used to collect anime when I was probably like around 12, 13, the days of Akira, Dominion Tank Police, all these really old animes I used to
Whoa.
watch. So yeah, I still have a lot of them here actually. Ninja Scrolls,
And-
that kind of stuff. So I got
and the
into a few other
60s.
ones. They're in the 60s. I'm not that fucking old. And
Astro Boy.
I think one of the only recent animes that I really got into was Attack on Titan. This is one that I don't know. It hooked me. I really got into that.
The thing is about, you know what? Last thing I'm gonna say, then we're gonna go back to the games.
Okay.
Attack on Titan, because it took so long to make season 2, a lot of it died down, and season 2 then had a lot of like a lot of twist in it, so it didn't get the hype it needed, so a lot of people to come back. But
Yeah.
season 3, it's not because it's bad. Every story has their like hype moments, and then there are moments where they have to like tell the story, and telling the story, there's not a lot of action, there's a lot of dialogue, right?
Yeah.
So there's always moments in storytelling where everything quiets down, and season 2 was kind of like that. A lot of action did happen, but season 3 where everything picks up and the story gets so much interesting, but because it took so long for them to animate it, the hype was like really put down.
Yeah. Did you
Died
play the
down.
video games as well?
No, it's gonna be
I
garbage.
played the first one. It wasn't bad. The first one wasn't bad. The second one, I got it. I played a little bit, and then I gave it to my sister. That's what I did this on the second one. But they're saying the second one's better.
Yeah, anime games are just like shoved, like you shove them, like there are mobile games on the consoles or on the PCs ecosystem. They're garbage. Most of them.
There
garbage.
must be
Not all
there
of
must
them.
be one or two good ones.
They are, but so rare. That's why I just like stopped with the anime games, to be honest.
Well, you've got since we're on that topic now. I mean, let me think.
Yeah.
Persona. Persona's an anime, isn't it?
No, Persona started as a video game, then
they got into it. Okay. What about you got Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball. Oh, there you go, Dragon like Kakarot and stuff like that, and all these other Dragon Ball games. There's some good Dragon Ball games.
There's like 10,000 Dragon Ball games, and you can find like 2 or 3 good ones.
Okay, but you can still. That's what I'm saying. At least you can find 2 or 3 good ones.
Okay, I'm not saying all of them are bad, but most of them are.
There's an anime game that I started playing, which I didn't think was too bad. One Punch Man.
One Punch Man. Nah.
That wasn't. It wasn't bad. It's not the best anime game, but I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it was okay. Like it's playable. It's got some nice features in it as well.
Would you pay $60 for it?
Of course not. I'd wait till it goes on sale.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
But if you're a die-hard fan, yeah, I think you would. But I know a lot of people who are really into this kind of stuff, and they go out and they buy it on day one.
I'm a die-hard One Piece fan. I still don't buy their games because I hate the type they do them. Yeah.
Very good.
So let's move on from anime. We talked a lot about it because we're still gonna talk about PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X.
Let's get into that now then. Let's talk about. Obviously, didn't they do all the specs now?
Yeah, but I just wanna insert this before because it would be interesting for everyone. It would be for you too. Okay. For Final Fantasy VII, because you love Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
There's a free free theme you can download from April 10 to May 11 if you downloaded the demo. So download the demo so you can get the free theme that they will release on April 10. There's a second theme they're gonna release, which is for PlayStation Plus users, free for all PlayStation Plus users. They didn't announce which date.
Okay.
So if you're a PlayStation Plus user, you're gonna get that theme. And there's the last one if you pre-ordered it from Amazon.com.
Nice. Well, this is the one reason why I didn't download the demo for Final Fantasy VII or the new Resident Evil 3 demo, because when you play the demo, I'm already getting a glimpse. I want to play that game from the start. You know what I mean? Like I want to feel all these new graphics, all these enhancements, and everything from day one. Because if I do the demo, I've already got an idea of what to expect. So this is why I haven't touched it.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I'm saying just download it so you can get the theme.
Yeah, but it takes gigabytes, mate. It's like, I want to get the theme. It's like,
Oh, come on. If you're a die-hard fan, you would do it.
Well, mind you, I am actually playing the original Final Fantasy VII on my PS Vita. I play it at night.
Right.
I've got it on there, so I'm clocking in the hours. So I want to try and finish it before this remake comes out in April.
All right. So let's go into the nitty-gritty.
Yep.
Nitty-gritty. So we're gonna PS5 versus Xbox Series X, which is very interesting because both companies, Sony and Microsoft, they did it in a very unusual way. Xbox was like, here's the console, take it, rip it apart, look at what we have nothing to hide. So they were very open about it. If you saw videos. Right.
I saw. There was a guy online. I forgot his name. He's quite a famous blogger, and they gave him one, didn't they, to like test out and. Yeah, some guy online who was like testing it out and playing it and showing some of the. Obviously, it's not the finished product, but just to give people an idea of how it works.
It is the finished product, not like.
No, it's not completely finished yet. Even Microsoft have announced that. There still could be some changes, especially in software.
And software, right, but not in hardware. Hardware is done.
No, in hardware, no. Hardware is done. I'm talking about there's a lot of things that they still need to tweak.
Yeah, of course. Definitely. So, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 was a weird one. Like, I loved it. I'm a computer engineer, right? So, I love tech talk. When Mark Cerny was starting to talk about frequencies and, speeds and all of that, I was very interested. But as a game, it was boring. Like, a lot of people, slept through it. Because they just want to see... they just want to see how it looks like in some games. Show us games, right? So PS5 took a very different approach, which is interesting how they did it. So here's the thing. Like before with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, the issue we had is 2 generations ago, PS3 and Xbox 360, when they were released, they had the best hardware they could find. Like the day the year was released, they had the best hardware. Like PS3 had a microprocessor chip which was even better from PCs at the time, but because it costed a lot, they barely made any margin profit. They made any margin profit, some of them were even loss.
Yeah.
But they were a huge success, and we saw a huge difference from PS2 and 360, right? For your experience, what was more of a difference for you, PS2 from PS3 or PS3 to PS4?
For me, what was a bigger difference? I think
As a jump from generation
as a
to generation.
jump, I think maybe from PS2 to PS3. I think
Right, exactly.
for me, definitely, it was definitely such a you had such amazing. It was like revolutionary when you saw the graphics. It was like ooh, you know what I mean? I mean, fair enough. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, there is a big jump, but even till now, you can still get games that look like it could belong on a PS3. You know what I mean? Because of whatever companies introduced it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So when the Xbox One and PS4 released, they were more conservative in the hardware area. They had the lower specs. So even it wasn't very low, but everyone said before it even released, like, these specs are kind of outdated even before they released. So because of that, so they could make a profit out of the consoles, so they won't make it as a loss, like they did with PS3 and the 360. And because of these low specs, a lot of companies had to compromise in their games because of the weak performance. Everyone was expecting 1080p, 60 FPS, but we barely got games hitting those marks.
Yeah.
Barely get like when Call of Duty Ghosts come out, it was 900p on the PS4 and 720 on Xbox One. Like 720, the Unity, because how weak the specs are, Unity was being developed before the consoles were made, because a lot of games get developed, they get the idea, right? They get the idea, they get the concept, they make it, and because they still didn't had a lot of specs or ideas how the consoles were, that's why Unity was really bad when it came out, because when you make a game, you have to take in consideration how much powerful the console is. A lot of designs are made in a particular way, so it would render in the background. So when you reach a point B, it would already be rendered, so the game wouldn't crash, right? So a lot of designs are made around of a weak performance because they are constrained. Like, for example, Mark Cerny was talking on the PS5 when he was talking about it for Jax 2 or Jax 3. Like, he said, do you think we have this maze, or is it designed this way because we love it, or not we love it because it was an art approach? No, because it was spec. It was like what do you call?
You sound a bit lost already.
Like a software approach. Like they had an idea. A lot of designs they have to take in consideration if the game can or cannot output a number of shaders or a number of AIs or a number of texture colors or the resolutions. Sorry about that. That's why that's why PS4 and Xbox One had a lot of constraints.
Yeah.
So from what I heard, the PS5 and the X series seems like it's going to change all of that, because they even have features. Why did I bring up PS3 and Xbox 360? because of the big jump they had, right? PS5 and the Xbox Series seems like it's that big jump because the specs, they're very good. They're like they're very good. They're like 4 times or 5 times more faster than what we have right now, and even they have specs features that not even available in PCs, right? You cannot go out and buy this particular hardware and put it in your PC. It's even more advanced than PC, which is, I think it's great, right? To have that jump, because it would open up for developers a lot of freedom to do. They can do world building better. They can do designs better. They are not more constrained because of that.
Yeah. Well, mind you, I heard Naughty Dog, of course, obviously, because they're getting ready for The Last of Us 2. They've been very excited about the properties of the PS5. They were online, like, saying there's so much that they can do now that they couldn't do before. So that's pretty exciting.
Oh my god, I cannot wait what Naughty Dog is gonna make on PS3 and on PS5, and like focused on PS5 only, right?
Yeah, well, mind you, by the way, my power's just gone out, so that noise in the background is all my UPSs. Give them like 20 seconds, they'll be off.
All right, that's fine. So if we're gonna talk about specs, the Xbox Series X has a CPU of 8 cores with 3.8 gigahertz and 2.6 without SMT. So that's like, I don't want to say overclocking. It's something else, but let's say when it's performing at its best, it can hit 3.8 and 3.6, which is the stable one.
Yeah.
But the PS5 is gonna do. It's gonna keep running in overclock speeds, or that's what it's a smaller CPU.
Yeah.
It's a smaller CPU, but it's always gonna be running overclock. So, like 3.5 gigahertz. But mostly it's gonna stay in 3.4. I think it's a big for me it's a big risk, because you have to be like really confident in your heat system, like the ventilation, because if you want to run your CPU on boost mode or overclock mode all the time, you need to have really good fans or heat system, so it wouldn't heat up and slow down the CPU, or drop down the CPU lower than 3.5 or 3.2, so the game wouldn't crash, right?
Yeah.
So that is a big, like, they have big confidence, because Mark Cerny said it doesn't matter even you have the PS5 in a very hot environment, it would still run at 2.5 gigahertz.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's also why Xbox have that sort of cone design in it. I guess that's for air ventilation. Have you seen the top of that thing? That's crazy.
Yeah. But Xbox said like it's gonna be stable at 2.6, which is even higher than the on the variable frequency one of the 3.5 of the PS5. But I don't know, like, if they're really gonna say it's gonna be like stable on 3.5, which I have big doubts. But I don't know, like, if it's gonna be variable, like, I'm really scared of the variable frequency thing, because if it's gonna vary a lot, you're gonna see a lot of you're gonna see in your game a lot of textures or frame rates or pop-ins. They're gonna keep changing because resolution is gonna keep changing. You're gonna have frame rates jumping. You're gonna have frame rates latency, which even sucks more. So I don't know. I think like Sony is confident in their hardware. I'm not.
All honesty, the hardware looks good. Xbox also looks very good, but I'm not gonna lie to you. For me, it all depends on how it looks, because I don't want some big monstrosity just sat there on the side of my table staring at me. You know what I mean? I want something that looks good as well. You know what I mean? People say no, it's about the specs and this. No. It's got to look the part as well. That's, you know how people buy things, mate. You buy things because it's eye candy in the end. So I'm quite interested to see how this final design is going to be.
Yeah. So the difference is gonna be mostly 10% between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X as a performance.
Yeah.
But it can reach up to 15% if the Xbox Series X reach at that 3.8 gigahertz.
Yeah.
But but there's always in a period where there's a cross-gen period where games release both on the older generation and the new generation. So there's gonna be cross-gen period, right? There's always
Yeah.
like games come out for the old gen and the new gen.
Yeah.
And Xbox said that they're gonna support the Xbox One for like a good period of time. So
Yeah.
if a game is gonna, I'm talking about first parties. So if a game is gonna come out on the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X, developers are gonna be like, you know, chained up because they have to release it on the older generation, so they cannot take a big, like they cannot take advantage of the big advantage of the new hardware.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe at first the PS5 games are gonna look better. I'm talking about first parties because they're because it's not being released on the PS4.
Yeah,
So I think-
because
yeah.
there will be a few that will obviously be exclusive for PS5, obviously to entice you to go and buy the thing.
Yeah.
But one thing that I do like is the fact that they are going to be doing backwards capability, but they're saying on most games, not on every game. This I remember seeing in a report.
So I think that was like there was an article for that. They said no, there's 4,000 plus games ready, but 100 of the most popular one are optimized or tested harshly. So yeah, because like GTA 5, of course people are gonna play GTA 5, right? Games like that, the most popular ones. So yeah.
Yeah, but I think that for me, that's a good thing because, nothing worse than having, I mean, I remember getting the old the old PS4, and then, I still had to have my PS3 as well, so I had everything hooked up in the living room. So if I wanted to go back, because there were certain games that wouldn't work anyway, so I would have to have both consoles up. I don't want to do that again. I'd rather everything just switches straight over to the PS5, and I can just carry on with what I'm doing.
Yeah. I want to see how they're like.
Yeah.
They said you can play your PS4 games off a hard disk.
That would be good.
Yeah. So in the GPU side, Xbox Series X. Where was it? Okay, GPU. If we're gonna talk about flops. Xbox has 12.
I have no idea what flops are.
So here's the thing, right? Xbox Series X seems like they have a bigger GPU, but PS5 has a higher frequency. I mean, it's not about just flops or how much GPU has a T-flop. Because having a higher frequency makes it run faster, but for me, for in real numbers, tested on PCs, it seems like the Xbox Series X has the advantage, even though PS5 has the higher frequency, but the lower T-flops.
Yeah.
So as of right now, it seems like the Xbox Series X is 15% more powerful, just as the GPU side. So I think the big difference between PS5 and the Xbox Series X is like 10% bigger. But here's the most interesting part I loved is about the SSD.
Yeah, SSD.
The SSD. No, the SSD on the PS5 is a custom SSD done for the PS5. This SSD doesn't exist anywhere. Doesn't exist on the PC. It can through output 5.5 gigabyte per second raw, not compressed, raw. Xbox Series X can do only 2.4. What does this mean? It means that sometimes when you play a game, right, you see trees pop up, or something you see like, right, you run and sometimes you see a tree pop out, or you still see like textures being loaded at the background.
Yeah.
Because it's so fast, you would see the world already built before you even, like, the second you turn your head. The second you turn your head, everything is already built. It doesn't need to render stuff from behind. With the bigger data, having 5.5 gigabytes let you have better world building. Like you have a better like a long distant angle, like long distant view, which is, I think it's very impressive. I'm really curious how they're gonna do that. I think, but Mark Cerny was very confident that it works. Right? It's actually 5.5 gigabyte data raw.
Yeah.
Both of them has expandable SSDs, but Xbox Series X has a custom storage. It's a custom storage. The PS5 has a PCI SSD, and it's open market. Here's the thing, though: the SSD that said is compatible for the PS5 is not actually been invented yet. It's not actually in the market yet. So when you buy the PS5, there's not going to be an SSD to upgrade it. Because funny. They need because the specific SSD they need it to be really fast. And so there's going to be a period of time where you cannot upgrade your storage on the PS5. What I like about the open market is that it gives a lot of competition between companies, and because the Series X, it's a custom made one, which makes it more expensive. Do you remember the Vita storage one?
Yeah.
Why people don't buy it? Because how expensive it was.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like $100. I was like that.
Yeah, because you couldn't. Because you couldn't use it anywhere else, and it was the only company that did it, right?
Yeah.
But having an open market, you can have a lot of companies thinking about thinking in ways of making an SSD cheaper, but even a good quality one. So it makes it, I think it's going to be cheaper from the custom SSDs that Series X is going to release. Because of the open market, you're going to have a lot of competition.
Yeah, I mean, with all these specs aside, I mean, the only thing I really care about is just what good games come out, to be honest. I mean, you can tell me about megaflops, blops, and I don't know what, and SSDs and this and that. All I care about is that the games actually, they just come out on top form. And I think with both consoles, I'm not worried about it at all. Whether it's going to be Xbox or PlayStation, in the end, I'm probably going to end up getting both anyway. I mean, I did it last time. I've done it with all of them, with the PS3, 360, and then the Xbox One and the PS4. I'm obviously going to do it now with both of those. So, yeah, all I care about really is just the performance of the games, how they look, and just diving in and seeing something a bit new as well. So it's quite exciting times, I think. But what do you think? Do you think the whole? I mean, obviously because we're living in this time now where, you know, we have this Corona thing and I don't know what. Do you think that might delay the actual release of the PS5 or the Xbox One? What do you think? Or the new Xbox? I
think so. Because this coronavirus thing is not going to go away like in a month or two. I feel we're going to have to see. Like, I don't think coronavirus is going to like just disappear in 2 or 3 months, and it's affecting a lot of like the economy. Yeah. So, and people are going to focus on priorities. They're not going to focus on games. So we're going to have to see. And because that's what I said. You're going to have to see what's going to happen day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Right. Because everything is changing in a second. We were talking about like 2 weeks ago, maybe record this in actual studio, but look at us right now. Yeah.
Although maybe it's a good thing because you have this habit of recording naked, so it's okay.
What? Who said that? How did you know?
Thank goodness we're not using cameras.
Yeah. The only reason we don't use cameras because it's gonna take like 10 hours or a whole day to upload it.
Yeah. Cool. Super, super cool. So is there anything you want to finish off with before we finish off over the next 5 minutes? Something you want to mention? Something you want to talk about?
If I don't add like the PS5 is gonna both of the consoles are gonna have 4K UHD Blu-ray drive, which finally we didn't get on the Pro which was weird.
Yeah.
The Series X is gonna have a 3.2 USB for external storage, which is really fast. Nothing about the PS5 yet. We're just gonna have to wait see. And I didn't mention about the RAMs. Both have the same RAMs, 16 gigabyte GDDR6. But it seems like the Series X has an advantage. I don't know. I think it's similar, the same, but both work in a different way.
Yeah, all honesty, I don't think you're going to see a big difference anyway, to be honest. That's what, because in the end, you've got a lot of the same developers developing games anyway, and then of course you have their own in-house developers. You'll get some games that'll look amazing. Oh wow, what did they do with this one? But I think in the end, I think they're both going to be performing almost the same. I don't see a massive difference, to be honest.
I think it's mainly because a lot of like cuts has to be made, so they would work on both consoles, third-party games. What the difference we're gonna see is the first-party games, the exclusive ones, like God of War, the new Uncharted or whatever Naughty Dog is gonna do. Because Last of Us 2, I don't think it's gonna be the thing we're gonna be so amazed about on PS5.
No, they'll do like a remastered one, like they did with the PS4, because it came out on PS3, didn't it first, and then they did that remastered version. They'll do something similar, I think.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be like the game that's gonna define the PS5, right? I think right now the PS5, the best game I ever seen is either Uncharted 4, God of War, or Horizon New Dawn. These games, like
that's gonna be they're gonna produce a new. Well, they're already been in production, haven't they, for Horizon? So I think that's gonna be very interesting if that's like a PS5 exclusive or something. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah. So that's it. Anything else for you to add? I think I talked a lot on this show. I think I did.
Yeah, I was like falling asleep just a little bit when you're going through the specs. And then you have the CPU. I was like, I think I fried an egg. I came back. You were still talking. I came back. Went to the toilet. Came back. Oh, you still going? I was like, yeah.